We head to Jonesboro, Georgia for a plea hearing. 46-year-old Reginald Lyons has been charged with driving under the influence, driving while license suspended, and improper lane change. 4 years earlier, Lyons got into a single vehicle accident. When police questioned him, they say he was slurring his speech, smelled of alcohol, and told them he'd consumed at least 4 shots of tequila. Lyons was arrested for DUI, his 6th offense. And a toxicology report later showed his blood alcohol level was .372, more than 4 times the legal limit. Lyons agreed to plead guilty to DUI and driving while license suspended. And today, he appears remotely before Judge Tammy Hayward to officially enter his plea and hear his sentence. The prosecutor is Stephanie Bing. Lyons' attorney is MJ Tortorello.
Ms. Tortorello, what is your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Your Honor, for count 1, DUI, there'll be a guilty plea. Driving while license suspended, NOLO.
I also just want to put on the record that this is his 6th in life and 3rd in 10.
The state has emphasized to the court that not only is this Lyons' 6th DUI, but it's his 3rd in the last 10 years.
Mr. Lyons, when you gonna stop?
I already have.
I mean, because you put other people's lives at risk. That's what concerns me. And it took 6 times for you to get it?
Yes, I apologize, Your Honor.
No, don't apologize to me. Just think about all the lives you put at risk.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you weren't willing to acknowledge that you got a severe alcohol problem. Now tell me how you have fixed it.
I did AA meetings.
You said you did them. Why would you stop?
Well, actually, I got custody of 5 grandkids that live with me now.
Sir.
Because I have to work so much now, but I have to start back now because I have to do the support groups.
Okay, let me tell you something, Mr. Lyons. You're an alcoholic. You need to take AA meetings like you would take diabetes medicine if you were diabetic. You have put people's lives at risk the 6 times we caught you. But imagine how many times you drove wrong. I mean, you were pissy drunk. I'm not afraid to say it. .372, that's almost .4. How old are the kids? Oldest and youngest?
The oldest is 7 and the youngest is 1.
Oh, my Lord, have mercy. No, sir, you gonna stay in AA meetings. And you know why? Because you gotta take care of 5 kids from 1 to 7. Sir, at any moment, you could put somebody's life in risk. Because you're gonna be looking at that bottle going, if I just take a little sip, you don't have take a little sip genes. So you need to get back into a community support organization and stay in it. Like, that's not a choice for you. And you should think about that every single day. There is nothing I could sentence you to that would be worse than you waking up every day knowing you took somebody's life. Nothing. Is that a sentence you want?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Lyons, you owe it to everybody involved to be better.
Yes, Your Honor.
Lyons was sentenced to 2 years probation, 240 hours of community service, mandatory support meetings, and he must install an ignition interlock device in his car. In addition, he was ordered to abstain from alcohol and drugs and submit to random testing. We go to Beaumont, Texas for a plea hearing. 40-year-old Crystal Vogan has been charged with theft. 2 years earlier, police say Vogan, who has a criminal history with multiple convictions for theft and forgery, entered a bank and withdrew $10,000 using someone else's identification. Vogan was arrested, charged, and released on $50 bond. The state has offered her a deal where, if she pleads guilty, she'll be sentenced to 4 years deferred probation and ordered to pay a $1,000 fine plus $9,400 in restitution. Today, Vogan appears with her attorney, Marvin Lewis, before Judge Raquel West to enter her plea and hear her sentence. The state is represented by prosecutor Preston Hoffpower, who appears just off camera.
There's a lot of history of what I'm saying, Your Honor. But we'll make sure the court knows restitution. Most of the main issue we're looking at is some of that money back.
I've got 1, 2, 3 and a quarter pages of criminal history. Well, there's a lot of stuff that wasn't dismissed. There were 14 felonies that weren't dismissed. I understand the restitution, but there's... All right, so here's what I'm going to do, Ms. Vogan. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty.
The judge seems to be struggling over whether to approve the plea deal by offering the defendant deferred probation.
I just don't know. I just can't believe I'm even considering doing this, honestly. I'm not. I can't. There's no way. It has to be straight probation. I'm rejecting the plea agreement. I'm resetting your case for 3 weeks. You're at, ma'am.
What?
This is not going to help.
It don't matter. My life's on that.
Well, looks like you did that, not me. I'll see you in 3 weeks.
On her way out of the courtroom, Vogan makes a rude comment to her attorney.
Come on, hold on, get her, don't let her go. Come back. Everybody heard it.
That's what my lawyer did.
You don't talk like that to anybody in this case because he didn't do this either, you did. He did a great job. I'm going to find at this time that your bond is not sufficient because of your attitude and because of your criminal, because of your,
I gotta go to work. So I'm gonna lose my job and everything too?
Well, maybe you shouldn't cuss at your lawyer. Maybe you shouldn't have this attitude here in the courtroom. I'm going to raise your bond. Don't cry now after saying it's bull to him and acting like this in here. Stop. No, you're going to make it worse. All right, I'm going to set your bond at $25,000. Go back with the bailiff.
The next day, Vogan pled guilty and was sentenced to 2 years in jail, plus, upon her release, 5 years probation. She was also ordered to pay $10,000 in restitution and $422 in court costs. Next, we go to Beaumont, Texas for a probation violation hearing. 43-year-old Anthony Mendoza has been convicted of driving while intoxicated. 6 years earlier, Mendoza pled guilty to his third DWI and was sentenced to 6 years probation with several conditions, including that he wear an ankle tether to monitor alcohol use, install an ignition interlock device on his vehicle, complete a 12-step program, and work towards earning his GED. But Mendoza violated his probation, not only by testing positive for alcohol and cocaine, but also by picking up an assault charge. He was arrested and today appears before Judge Raquel West to hear if his probation will be revoked. Mendoza is represented by attorney Alan Parker.
Mr. Parker, you may proceed.
Well, a couple things I want to address. He's ordered to have the scram and interlock. It's costing him $600 a month. He can't afford to pay for the things he needs to do, such as the 12-step program, the GED program, all those things require money. He has no other felonies, Judge. He wants to complete his probation, and I think he'd also like to address the court, Judge.
So here's the thing. This is the third time, it looks like to me, that you would have been given an opportunity to remain on probation. And then we have aggressive behavior, ongoing alcohol use. Mr. Nichols?
The judge checks in with the prosecutor, Luke Nichols, who appears off camera.
Judge, I think it's pretty clear. He was put on zero tolerance a couple of years ago, and here we are on the second time.
Third.
multiple times.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else we could do. So obviously I agree with the probation department's recommendation for revocation.
Mr. Mendoza, you have been given so many opportunities on this probation. I mean, seriously, 3 times haven't revoked you, and here we are with all of these violations.
I've actually done well through the program, through with the supervised division. The only time I messed up is when they stopped supervising me and made me go do these things by myself.
Well, I mean, how old are you?
I'm 43.
43 years old.
And I have no felonies on my record except for this.
That doesn't mean anything. You have this felony and you have 6 years hanging over your head, and you've been given all the tools. At some point, you have to take those tools and do for yourself and not come in and say, well, they made me do it for myself, so it's somebody else's fault that I kept drinking. We gave you the tools.
If I can
We're done. At this, we're done. No, we're done.
After hearing the defendant's comment, the judge does not look happy.
Mr. Mendoza, turn around. You can say whatever you want, but you're going to face me and you're going to get your sentence. So I'm going to find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation, and at this time revoke your probation. Sentence you to 6 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections.
The judge sentenced Mendoza to 6 years in prison with credit for 292 days time served. Next, we're in Eureka, Kansas for a virtual hearing. 8 months earlier, 33-year-old Jesse Greenwell, who was free at the time on a personal recognizance bond for a marijuana possession charge, was pulled over for speeding and driving with a suspended license. He was arrested, pled guilty to the marijuana charge, and was sentenced to a year of probation. Then, in a separate plea deal, Greenwell pled guilty to the suspended license charge, and the speeding charge was dropped. He was fined $208 and given a suspended sentence of 120 days in jail. Later, while free but still on probation for the marijuana charge, he failed to appear at multiple hearings, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. A judge amended his probation and gave him a deadline of 90 days to pay that $208 fine. But then, Greenwell was arrested again, this time for aggravated assault and trespassing. Today, he appears from the Butler County Detention Facility before Judge Phyllis Webster, who first wants to talk about his unpaid fine.
All right, so why have you not paid anything on your fines and costs?
I was only out for like two weeks. I didn't have time to do anything. If you could please continue the matter, give me some more time, and I will pay it when I get out.
You were ordered to pay $208, and you told me you could get that paid by today. And you're here telling me the reason you didn't is because after I sentenced you, you went back into jail. Is that your reason why you didn't pay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Since Greenwell failed to pay his fine on time, which is a violation of his probation, the judge believes Greenwell owes the state some additional jail time. But Greenwell believes he's already served the 120 days.
I've already done the 4 months on all of it.
How do you figure that?
I'd already done 2 months waiting to get probation, and then I sat another 2 months waiting for you guys to just throw my probation and everything out. And you can check up here with the jail and everything. I've already done it all.
The judge disagrees and only shows Greenwell serving 52 days. But the defendant is done discussing the matter.
I don't want to talk about none of this. You have to talk about that with my attorney. They wouldn't have released me from the jail if I wouldn't have had it served.
Okay, sir, what I need to do is reappoint Mr. Patterson so he can help you understand this. 120 days.
I'm not going to argue about this.
With 52 days of credit for time served.
And you're still arguing me about it.
With a balance of 68 days left to serve, for which I released the defendant on probation, and that is what the journal entry reflects, correct, Mr. Regier?
No, they didn't let me out on probation.
The public defender, Darren Patterson, tries to clarify the situation.
Well, if the court would want to set it over for a short time and I could get the records of how much he served.
I'm telling you, Mr. Patterson, they wouldn't have let me out in January if I hadn't served all my time.
Okay, well, let's get
I
the
would
records.
still be sitting in jail and they wouldn't let me out.
Let's get the records and I'll meet with you and talk about it.
So how much time would you recommend?
30 days, Judge.
Greenwell seems unhappy with that decision and walks away from the camera.
Where did the defendant go? What's going on at the Butler County Detention Facility?
What do you mean what's going on? What's going on with you? They wouldn't let me out of jail if I got my freaking 120 days served. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? You need to go back on your little computer there and find out what you're talking about because I already served all my time on it. Okay? That's the only reason why I'm here today is to pay or appear for the fines that they gave me on that case.
All right, I was making notes. I looked up and someone else was there. Did you excuse yourself or what happened there? Where did you go?
Did I excuse myself? No, I don't need to sit here for 3-4 hours for you to tell me something I done heard 6 or 7 times already.
All right, that was contemptuous language. Make sure you don't do it again or you're going to be looking at some more jail time for contempt.
But Greenwell gets up again, and this time actually leaves the hearing.
Your Honor.
Sir?
On the Greenwell case, the court is not making a finding of contempt at this time.
I'm going to give him a break today.
Greenwell was spared from a contempt charge, but for violating his probation, he was required to serve the remaining 68 days in jail. As far as his other case, he pled guilty to aggravated assault and criminal trespass and was sentenced to an additional 30 days in jail, plus 6 additional months of probation. And he still owes the court $208. Next, we're in Traverse City, Michigan for a bond violation hearing. 40-year-old Curtis White has been charged with unlawful driving away, 3 counts of obstructing an officer, and being a habitual offender. 2.5 months earlier, police say they spotted White driving a stolen car, and when they questioned him, they say he became confrontational and was arrested. White was released on $25,000 bond, with the condition he be regularly tested for drugs and alcohol. Today, White's in the local jail because he missed 4 days of testing, and a bench warrant was issued for his arrest. He appears before Judge Charles Hamlin to enter a plea on his bond violation. His attorney is Jacob Graff.
Mr. Graff, let me start with you. Have you had a chance to review the allegations contained in the bench warrant with the defendant, and how would you be proceeding this afternoon?
We have, Your Honor. He'd be accepting responsibility to violating his bond.
So, Mr. White, sounds like you want to admit to missing the tests. Is that correct?
Correct.
You did miss those tests, even though you did know that you were required to take them as part of your bond. Is that correct? Okay. The court doesn't feel comfortable at this point taking a plea from Mr. White. I'm not sure where the lack of understanding between either he or I is taking place. So I think what we're going to do is I'll enter a not guilty plea on his behalf, and we'll get it set for a hearing.
The judge moves on to whether White should receive a new bond, beginning with a statement from the defense.
Mr. White was released on a bond. We seem to be doing well. It sounds as though there were some hiccups and maybe, he fell off the wagon and didn't follow through as he should have. I know the court may not be inclined to reinstate the prior bond, but Mr. White would like me to ask to see if the court would give him another opportunity.
Mr. Atwood, any comment for the people?
That's State Prosecutor Kyle Atwood.
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask that he be remanded pending the hearing. The allegations have to do, in large part, with substance abuse, and I'm not so sure that he's not under the influence of something right now. This involved the theft of an automobile, and he fought with law enforcement. So he's a public safety risk. If he's not testing, I'm going to assume he's using. If he's using, he's a danger to everyone else around him. So I think he's where he needs to be. Thank you, Judge.
After hearing from both sides, Judge Hamlin's ready to make his decision.
Well, I think given the issues that the defendant has had on bond in the past, he's already gotten the second chance.
As the judge goes on, White expresses his feelings to the court. Not once, but twice. And the judge takes notice.
For the record, Mr. White was just flipping off the camera. He used both his left and right hand to do that. I probably would have been inclined to let it go had it only been a quick reference with one hand, but he did it with both, and he made an aggressive gesture toward the camera while doing it. Mr. White, I'm going to hold you in contempt of court, sir, and I'm going to sentence you to 60 days on that. There won't be any additional fines and costs associated with it. Mr. Graff, we'll see you both back for the hearing that'll occur shortly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
White was sentenced to 60 days for contempt. He was never charged with car theft, but the case for his unlawful driving away and obstructing an officer is pending.